Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of The Charming Empire along Koichiro Sera's route. We're on episode 2 with him. At the beginning of his second episode, it doesn't really give you a chance to stop before it just rolls over right into the next episode. So we don't have the nice start screen for it, but oh well, we're jumping right into it. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Despite the gorgeous seafood feast laid out on the table, I can't taste what I eat. This is awkward. Soshi eats elegantly in front of me. I should be honored to be having dinner with my brother, but after my lively meals in the countryside, the silence is uncomfortable. Soshi used to talk to me over meals all the time. Can't we at least have some music for dinner, have somebody playing the violin or something? I sadly reminisce about the days as I chew on the beautiful food. I guess Sera's not eating. What? As my bodyguard, he really ought to be keeping himself energized. Sera has been standing behind me ever since I came into the dining hall. It makes me feel awkward to eat in front of him while he goes hungry. Hey Sera, why don't you eat with us? Sera glances at me before turning to my brother. Soshi looks at me as he answers.
Sera is your bodyguard. He can't eat and protect you at the same time.
I beg to differ. I think he could stop eating and protect me right away if something happened. I see. Well, then when does he get to eat anyway? Does he have a substitute? How's he go to the bathroom? I look down at my plate. Did Sera know that's what Soshi would say? But we might as well eat together. Screw you, I'm trying again. Oh, that was a good choice. I didn't think it would be right, but I'm like, that's me. I'm doing it. It looks like we need Soshi's permission first. I have an idea. The two of us can't finish all this food, so why doesn't Sera help us? I'm being serious, but Soshi looks grim. I can tell he's not happy with what I just said.
It's not about whether we can finish the food or not. It's not proper for a princess to share a meal with her servant.
He lectures me about how I need to learn to think and act like a proper lady. Now it's even more awkward, and Sera glares at me. I should have kept my mouth shut. Sera watched Soshi and I have dinner yesterday too. I wonder when he eats. I'm sure he doesn't go hungry, but it gives me something to think about. Oh, does he only eat once a day? He's really close. I just finished my first lesson with my foreign language and dance tutor. Would that have been Kay? Are we not going to have many crossovers with the other guys in these routes? I was surprised we were so close in age, but his lessons were really easy to follow. He didn't seem to like teaching me, but if I tried talking to him more, he might open up to me. Sera, on the other hand, is as quiet as ever. He answers my questions now, but he never says more than he has to. As for me, my freedoms as a princess are limited. Yep, that's how things are when you're a royal. I'm not allowed to leave the palace without my brother's permission. I can move around freely in the palace, but I'm supposed to keep my exploring to a minimum. I have a beautiful room, but it's only a matter of time before it starts to suffocate me. It would be much more fun if Sera would talk to me. I wonder what year this is. I'm so confused because this seems like really, kind of historic, but I feel like, I don't know, can we have a TV or something? I mean, we should be able to get at least books in here. I glance at Sera with a sigh. He's staring at me as closely as always. Shouldn't you be, looking at the surroundings and not me? I know I asked this before, but do you really need to be that close?
You might get attacked the second I move away.
No one's going to attack me in the palace. Oh, you'd be surprised.
Don't be so sure.
He gives me a long, silent glare. This doesn't look good. I want to get along since we spend so much time together. I try to think about something we can talk about. I know. Sera, can I take a walk in the garden? There's nothing we can talk about here. I doubt he likes embroidery. Well, you don't have to talk about what's near you. You can talk about things that are not in your view, There might be something that piques his interest in the garden. But he gets more upset than I've seen him all day.
Have you been listening to me? How many times do I have to tell you to be careful because you're a target?
I know, I heard you. My sentence trails off. I was too obsessed with finding a way to get to know Sera better. I don't blame him for getting mad. It's obviously more dangerous to be outside. Putting myself in that kind of situation will only give Sera more work. I thought it would give us something to talk about, but I guess not. I let out a small sigh. I've been sighing a lot ever since I got to the palace. But I guess it comes with the job. I didn't come to the capital just for fun. I came here to become an upstanding lady so I can marry a foreign prince and bring prosperity to this country. Ah. To be treated as an object to be traded, basically. I can't set my expectations too high. While I try to convince myself of my position, Sera clears his throat and I look up into his strict eyes.
I can't stand that face you're making.
What face? When I look in the mirror, I just look confused. I don't know what he's talking about. Sera awkwardly scratches his head.
I don't know what to do when a girl looks like she's about to cry. Will you cheer up if we go to the garden?
About to cry? I wasn't aware of it, but if it looked like I was about to cry, it's because I was thinking about my fate. Sera has the wrong idea, but it works for me. I got what I wanted.
Come on, let's go. If we're going to go out, we should do it before it gets dark.
It's strange to see Sera be in such a hurry. I've never seen him like this. It's funny he's worried about it getting dark when it's still the middle of the day. Or maybe he expects a really long walk in the garden. He seems nicer than usual, too. He should always have the wrong idea. So we just pretend like we're about to cry all the time to make him be nice to us? Sorry, Sera. After apologizing to him in my head, I smile with a skip in my step. Okay, let's go! La 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 la. Wow, it looks so pretty close up. I whisper to myself when we get to the garden. The garden is full of light pink, yellow, and white flowers. They look so sweet that I could stare at them forever. There's a bubbling fountain among the flowers. The white bench nearby is engraved with small birds. It looks like a Western-style garden, but it turns out the palace has a Japanese-style garden with a koi pond, too. I want to see! The best part is the flowers. I run over to them, and their sweet, unfamiliar smell tickles my nose. They smell great.
Hey, how many times do I have to tell you to stay next to me?
Sera catches up, and I can tell he's close from the way his shadow hovers over me. What are these flowers called?
Don't ask me.
Does he look like a gardener? Oh, right. Sorry. He's back to his usual self. I got excited when he let me come to the garden, but that was just him being nice because of a misunderstanding. He probably thinks I'm satisfied with just being here. Taking advantage of his misunderstanding doesn't get me anywhere. But now that we're out here, I need to make the most of it. I ask him about the garden, the gardener, and his favorite flower, but his answers are so brief that the conversation doesn't last for long. Well, it's something at least. This is sad. I sit down on the bench and stare at the sky. The beautiful blue sky I always admire now just leaves me feeling irritated. It hasn't been fun talking with Sera at all. There are a lot of things to talk about out here, but Sera doesn't seem interested. It's not much different from being in my room. I know he's not a bad person, but it's going to be tough to be around him if we can't get along. Thanks for bringing me here. Let's go back to my room now. I gave up and start to walk towards my room. My steps are a lot heavier than when I came out here. Sera doesn't seem to realize how I feel and walks behind me in silence. He seems kind of like the oblivious guy when it comes to feelings. Maybe I should stop trying to be friends. I trudge forward with my eyes on my feet. Is it time for another misunderstanding? Suddenly... Whoa! I bump into something. Sera catches me before I fall. Thank you. Before I can thank him, he lets me go. Did he let me fall? I'm disappointed at being ignored at first, but it looks like there's something wrong.
You have the nerve to bump into the princess.
Sera's deep, threatening voice sends a chill down my spine. I've never heard him sound this terrifying before.
I'm so sorry.
The guard I bumped into bows profusely.
You think saying sorry is enough?
Oh, do we get a picture every chapter? This is awesome! They have good CGs in this game. Sera grabs the guard by the collar and lifts him up. I quickly clutch onto Sera's sleeve. Sera, I'm fine! Leave the guard alone!
He has the wrong idea if he thinks he can get away with running into you. I need to teach him a lesson.
The guard grasps Sera's arm and groans like he can't breathe. Sera, let him go! He's suffocating! Boy, he's really protective of me. He is just truly stoic. I put on a stronger tone of voice and shake Sera by the sleeve. He glances at me before finally letting go of the guard with a sigh.
I'm really sorry.
The guard keeps bowing to Sera.
Why are you apologizing to me? You should be apologizing to the princess. Oh, right. I'm very sorry.
The guard bows so low, it looks like his head is going to touch his toes. I nervously stumble over my words. Oh no, it's my fault. I wasn't looking where I was going. The guard bows a few more times before running away. I turn to Sera once the guard is out of sight. You don't have to get that mad at someone just for bumping into me.
No one could tell you apart from a regular girl yet. You need to get mad at them to set them straight.
But I don't need to assert my dominance like that. Is he trying to stress the fact that I don't have any royal education or etiquette yet? I met my tutor yesterday, but I never worked hard at my studies before. It makes me even more frustrated that Sera has a point. Now that I'm here and have a tutor, I'm going to become an upright lady.
Tutor? What are you talking about?
Aren't you with me all the time, shouldn't you know? Sera looks confused. I guess he wasn't talking about my education before. Oh, I thought you were talking about how I'm not educated.
I never said that. I think you're...
Sera stops for a second and stares me in the eye. When I stare right back, he hesitates before starting again. He reminds me of Saito in, Hakuoki.
If you talk to me like an equal, there are going to be people who use that kindness against you.
Use? I never even thought of that. I try to set things straight in my head before asking another question. Is that why you haven't been talking to me?
I've never been good at talking.
Aw. Neither have I, really. I'm only good at talking when, well, reading is cool, and I can talk about video games. Or art. But, yeah, I'm really awkward if I talk about anything else. Sera looks away and doesn't answer my question. It might be true that he's not good at talking. But it might also be true that he's worried it wasn't a good idea for us to be seen talking on friendly terms. Then can you talk to me regularly when we're on our own?
Why would I do that? I told you I'm not good at talking.
Hey, finally, we got a second pose from him. I was beginning to think guys only had one pose in this game. I don't mind. I just want to talk to you.
I can't do fun conversation.
That's okay. I smile at Sera as he searches my face. He falls silent, seeing he can't fight back.
Why do you want to talk to me? You're a strange girl.
I barely catch what Sera was saying before he turns around and starts walking back to the garden. Huh? Where are you going, Sera? I thought he would come back to my room to talk to me, but I guess it's too high of a hurdle. When I call out to him, Sera turns back to me with a grumpy look.
You want to learn about flowers, right? I'll tell you what I know.
What? Really? I thought you didn't know anything about flowers. Were you just pretending? I thought he would only agree to talk to me if we were sure there wasn't anyone around.
You'll talk to me if people are around or not, right? I give up trying not to talk to you.
Ha! I won! That means he'll talk to me more. That's great. Sera, let's go to the garden. Didn't we just come back from there? I practically skip on my way there.
Hey, that's not how ladies walk. Your tutor's going to have a fit if he sees you.
Sorry, I was just so happy. But if I slack off in front of Sera, he might be blamed for my behavior too. I need to be careful. I give him an apologetic bow.
Whatever. It's not my job to teach you etiquette.
I shouldn't be bowing to my guard either, should I? It might be my imagination, but it looks like he's smiling through his sigh. It has to be my imagination. We head back to the garden and things are much calmer between us than before. Hooray! Progress! As soon as we get to the garden, Sera explains about the flowers to me with a lot of detail. The flowers in this part of the garden are called Western roses and were brought to this country a few years ago. The shape and color of these roses are different from the native ones that grew here ages ago. You can't find them out in the countryside, but they're a popular flower in the capital. That's why he can explain a little about them, even though he's not an expert. Ah. But he recommends talking to the gardener who works here in the mornings, if I want to learn more. Afterwards, he invites me to come to the garden again sometime. He definitely doesn't seem used to talking, but I was happy with how hard he tried to explain things to me. It's all thanks to these beautiful flowers. I unwittingly reach my hand out to touch them.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sera shouts angrily and quickly grabs my arm. Huh?
You didn't touch it, did you?
Sera inspects my fingertips before I can answer. What's wrong? When I look at him in confusion, Sera finally looks up from my hand.
Good, you're not hurt.
What, was it roses? Were there thorns? Sera notices my confusion and explains his reaction before I can ask about it.
These kind of roses have stems with big enough thorns to seriously injure people.
Sure enough, when I check out the stems, I see their thorns are much bigger than the thorns on native roses. But even though they might draw blood, I doubt it would be enough to seriously injure someone. You don't have to worry so much. I'm not that clumsy.
It's my job to protect you. I can't let you get hurt when I'm by your side.
He can't be a failure. Sera doesn't even hesitate. He's so serious about his job. Well, yeah, he could probably be executed if he wasn't.
If you like these flowers so much, I'll get the gardener to put a bunch without thorns in your room so you can touch them.
He's so much nicer than I thought. I feel bad for misunderstanding Sera and happy that I can finally rely on him. And that's the end of Chapter 2. Chapter 3 coming up in the next video. Progress. I love the stoic type. They're so awesome. Yeah, he really does he's loosening up way faster and way much more than Saito does in Hakuoki, but, that's good, because these games are usually pretty short anyway. Oh god, he's so beautiful. And we got to see his second pose. Yeah, I'm liking this so far. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like the rest. I really wish I could share the ending, but nope, we can't do that. Anyway, hope to see you in the next video, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show your support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.